Welcome back, Mr. Goodberry. The First Star Logistics studio is fully equipped and ready to record.
Welcome back to Bengals On The Brain, presented by First Star Logistics. I'm your host, Joe Goodberry. Bengals off of their bye week, which means we get a double dosing of film review of Bengals On The Brain, looking back and saying, you know what, it's a bye week, and we could tear this team down in a lot of ways, and we have, but we can also prop up some players that are doing really, really, really well. And we did that a couple weeks ago when Jamar Chase Steelers game, I want to say, that episode where we just looked at all of his targets and just kind of enjoyed what kind of season we have, because we're often looking at the young guys, being critical of players that need development. But let's watch Jamar and let's watch him do his thing. We did that after the Steelers because we should be reminded sometimes we are watching the few good players they have. You know, we should enjoy them, celebrate them, and prop them up as best as we can so they can get the accolades they deserve for their play. But we have one player on defense, one on the Bengals defense in 2025 that deserves the same type of microscope put on them. And because if we put the microscope on anyone else, we're going to be highly critical of those games. And it's not that I want to be in those episodes. If everyone was playing excellent, we could pick out someone different each week and just enjoy it. And we did that with Dylan Fairchild this past week. The last episode of Bengals on the Brain. If you haven't seen it, Dylan Fairchild is showing his glimpses of what he could be if they could find any defensive prospects to play as good as Dylan Fairchild is on the offensive line. The Bengals will probably be leading the division right now. But the one player on defense that is playing that well. And in fact, if you're going to vote for a Pro Bowl player on defense, because Trey's been out, Trey still may be worth your vote. Let's see him come back and do his thing. DJ Turner deserves your vote. He's one of the best corners in the league. He's having one of the best seasons of any corner in the league. And it's because the name recognition wasn't there that teams were testing him. You're going to see, we're going to watch every target of DJ Turner from this season. And you're going to see these targets are going to decline rapidly as the season goes from each team. We're going to get to the end. It's like 2 targets, 3 targets per game because offenses are not messing with him anymore. DJ Turner is worth your time to watch and have some good time. So relax, enjoy it. We're still kind of on the bye week. You know, the Bengals do play this Sunday. So grab a drink, kick back, and let's watch DJ Turner do his thing in 2025. All right, DJ Turner film number 20. Down here against Jerry Jeudy in week 1. If you've already forgotten much of this season like I have. He's in man coverage here, just fading with him in a cover 3 situation. You can see that we're running a fade to the outside. He starts working him towards the sideline. And as soon as Jeudy, which Judy's kind of lazy, but, you know, can be very athletic, can run really good routes. But him looking back this early puts DJ Turner's eyes back. So now he's got contact with the receiver, and now he can go and track that ball. And he does. Puts a hand up, bats it away. Gets a PBU on the first target of the season. This should have let us know how the rest of the season is going to go for DJ Turner. So far, 9 games at least. All right, he's at the bottom of the screen, I believe. And this was beating the Bengals early in the year. Let me see if I can target him for you so you can see what I'm talking about. He's outside here. And what you're going to end up with is a motion for Jeudy to get behind his receiver here. We talk about stacked looks all the time. What they'll do is you'll end up with the defenders getting stacked as well, or sometimes it'll be more of like an inside-outside thing where one guy's here and one guy's there. And like, all right, whoever goes inside, I got. Whoever's outside, you got. And you can see them communicating with each other right away. Like they're already anticipating the motion and then the stack. And he's like, okay, back up. I've got underneath, you've got the deep guy. The problem is when you get both guys releasing outward and then cutting underneath, it makes it very tough on that inside and underneath receiver. And DJ Turner gives up that completion for a first down. 13-yard gain. And I think he's even there communicating with Geno Stone like, hey, who's our middle of the field defender there? Top of the screen. Kind of gets thrown off the jam here. Flacco's releasing this ball already. But as that ball is not caught and batted into the air, DJ Turner is there, and that's why it's nice to finish the play. kids, as you'll yell to your kids if you ever coach them in anything, finish it, drive back towards the ball, right? And make a diving catch. DJ Turner's first interception of the season gets the Bengals the win in Cleveland. So just those 3 targets, you could argue that 2 of them should have been caught. But I would say you got the 1 pass defense, you got interception. That's a pretty good first game of the season. And as soon as the Bengals are home, we get this blurry camera for a little bit until they figure it out, I think, in the next game. But DJ Turner's to the outside here against a bunch, 3 wide receivers, so he's got to kind of be off to start. And as he gets right here, you're going to see how they're attacking. Basically a high-low right there. One guy low, one guy high. And Turner, as he's backing off here, because he's got to play the deep coverage, he's got to flip his hips and get back to this ball, and he's unable to affect that play. And we'll get another one of those. That's why I didn't go into too much detail, because he gets better at that as that game goes. But this is his worst game of the year, and still he had a couple of impressive plays. Top of the screen this time. We got Travis Hunter that goes in motion across. I'm going to get right here. So we got 2 receivers we got to be aware of. He's communicating with his other corner right here. I see Dax here also, so I'm not sure exactly who he's talking to. There's Dax. Okay. Dax slides inside. And he's telling him, you go with the motion guy, and that gives me one-on-one with De'Ami Brown. And then the motion guy comes back, and we're all just trying to hold our guys as best as possible. It's a really good route combination. We're bringing Brian Thomas Jr. across this way, really try to tie up that free safety in this corner. And then what the Jags are doing is they're bringing De'Ami Brown across this way, which means DJ Turner's got to be able to run all the way around the traffic with him. And if the ball is thrown anywhere in the front here, there's just so much space that the receiver can come back to. It's very difficult. You see how Turner just snuck by those guys. Pressure in the face of Trevor Lawrence. It's a good throw. And nothing DJ Turner could really do there to affect that ball. Maybe he could have recovered a little quicker. Maybe he could have been a little bit faster. We're already talking about a very, very fast corner. It's just a really good design by the Jags offense. Okay. Bottom of the screen this time. He's going to end up more in the slot, as the Bengals will do this. Sometimes they'll bring their safety down, Geno Stone, to anyone that's coming in motion, and then ends up Stone one-on-one with a receiver on the outside, which I don't like, but it hasn't beaten them yet. But Turner's still locked up with his guy here, and there's a 2-way go. Anytime you're in the slot, this receiver can get you this way. He can get you this way. There is so much room for him to exploit you. But Turner does a great job here of contact, disrupting that receiver a little bit. And as soon as that receiver shows where he's going to go, Turner is undercutting it right here. So this is great coverage. It's physical coverage, but he is in that hip pocket. He turns, makes contact, looks up for that ball. And he just gets outjumped, outplayed by I'm a big fan. I think that's Parker Washington. I'm a big fan of his. But this is really good coverage. And I even said this at the time when that play happened, like, this is really good coverage. It's just, you get beat sometimes. And I think some people don't want to hear that, because if you get beat, you get beat. Who cares? I still want the guy to be sticky and flip his hips and be able to turn and run with guys, right? I still want to see that. All right, DJ Turner, bottom of the screen, communicating with his safety there in Jordan Battle. We've got coverage underneath. They're going to put this on Turner, but I don't. I think that's just zone coverage. We're letting the underneath throw happen there. So move on. I believe we have 45 targets based on Next Gen Stats. Chip data here. They put the chips inside the balls, and they know, and they track it that way. About like who's the nearest defender. He got nearest defender on that last play, so some of them won't count in our evaluation. All right, one-on-one here. He's got Travis Hunter, I believe. And man, Hunter is really so... because you have inside help, Turner's got to open his hips this way, and Hunter's trying to convince Turner that he's cutting this way. You see the way his body language is? He's really trying to get Turner to open up this way if he can, but Turner's got inside help, so he's not too concerned with it. That's why he flipped to the outside like that. And even right here, okay, so this is definitely an out route. I mean, Turner is running it 4. He does not believe at any point is he running this inside. He knows where his help is. He's already breaking right here. Look at Turner already breaking before the receiver is. Bang. Pass deflected. Could have been picked off there. That is a tremendous. That's great coverage. That's such a good job of understanding what you're doing. He's bottom of the screen here. Where your help is and what you can do to help. Or you got wide receiver screen, nearest defender. Again, whatever. Keep it moving. It's one of those plays where not worth an evaluation of the cornerback department here if I just want to see him in coverage, which is what I'm looking for. Because there's a whole evaluation with him against the run and tackling, which has been spotty. But his man coverage has been amazing. All right, bottom of the screen. He's got Parker Washington with De'Ami Brown inside of him. Parker's going to get this screen. DJ Turner does his job. He's basically setting the edge like a defensive end would and try to squeeze it towards the receiver like he does right there. So you actually get a little evaluation there on that one because he had to do a job. He had to play his position. Okay, top of the screen. He's been the one with the extra mouthpiece, if you're ever looking. Should use a better color than that. These colors are washed on this one. Top of the screen there. Press coverage here against Brian Thomas, I want to say. That looks like Thomas. So right there, difference in the Travis Hunter route. Because when you get here, again, what I say, when you're bunched or when you're tight, condensed, that's the word. When you're condensed for a receiver, man, he could run this, right? He could run this. He could settle down. He could come flat across. He could run out. I mean, there's so many things you could do here. So Turner ends up trailing right there. And as Thomas plants his outside foot, he's cutting over the middle. And it's wide open on this man coverage. And Turner just gives up way too much space there. Even he knows it. Like, that's probably his worst coverage play of this game. He gave up that touchdown. But even there, I thought he tried his best to really run around and avoid that. But that's just his worst coverage. He just gave up too much separation. Top of the screen versus Brian Thomas. Mouthpiece hanging out, remember. We got a play action and a boot for the quarterback. So I think Turner sees that now, would like to get contact with the receiver. It can't be prolonged contact, right? Although the quarterback is out of the pocket. He could be a runner here. You could have contact. So that's why there probably was no flag here because quarterback's out of the pocket. Anyway, so as he gets to this position, he's like, do I undercut right here? You can see him take this angle right there as the receiver's kind of going back. So he's undercutting what the potential pass would be here and then goes with the receiver. The receiver tries bailing out and going backwards. And Lawrence is going to, and that's a lot of separation again. So talk about separation. That's pretty significant separation between the two. But Turner's going to make up for it. I remember this play. Back of the end zone. I mean, Thomas just has to come down. If you can't play the ball as a defensive back, I need to push him out of bounds. And he does. So Turner, that counts as a pass defense in my book. Yeah, without contacting the ball. I mean, if you can push that guy out of bounds, that's huge. All right, Turner is against De'Ami Brown, number 5 here. He's backing off at the top of the screen. Very similar to the play earlier that they scored the touchdown on, right? This time he's undercutting. The receiver's undercutting. We got Dax coming across. Look at Dax coming right here. He needs to stay with. It must be Ingram, right? So who's 17 for them? Was it Ingram? Anyway, the tight end. And I think Dax is trying to get through, but like that's why this guy's going underneath this time to try and cause traffic there. Meanwhile, you got Brian Thomas Jr. going this way, causing a lot of traffic. DJ Turner just has to run and fight through it without hitting anyone, and he gets lost. I mean, for a guy who runs a 4.2, I wouldn't say lost. He gets the separation is there. So that I would say that's probably his second worst coverage play of the game. And I remember this is his worst game, so stick with me here. Bottom of the screen, if I didn't say it, in motion out, man coverage with Brian Thomas Jr. Gets a nice jam on him. Now there's some separation. And the reason why is because he's got to kind of play this while Dax is going to come underneath and play like this. So what we're really concerned with for Turner is getting the jam and then transitioning and flipping your hips and getting back. It's a cover 2 for the defense. He probably could have stuck with him a little bit more aggressively. That's next game. So that was his worst game. We had a couple of very nice coverage plays in that game, but that's his worst game of the season. DJ Turner, top of the screen versus Justin Jefferson, top 2 receiver in the league. Jefferson with the outside release. Trying diamond release, set him up and cross his face now. Turner with him, sticky, and bats this ball down. You may not remember this play from this game because this game sucked, right? But watch Turner there, man. That is some sticky coverage versus the best receiver in the game. Or one of them. Jamar, that's not the best receiver, not in Cincinnati. Best receiver that DJ Turner could potentially face in a game, right? All right, top of the screen again. I believe that's against Jefferson again. Jefferson actually going to go outside this time. Turner flipping his hips and running with him. Turner looking for the ball. Turner actually sees this ball before Jefferson does. And he's tracking it and going with it. That's why he's able to move like he's almost catching the back shoulder ball. So very good coverage again by Turner. Flipping his hips, finding that ball, going with it. Incomplete. So we've got 2 targets for Jefferson with Turner in coverage. No catches so far. Top of the screen, they're pressing with him again. Jefferson with the outside release. And we've got to defend deep here. We've only got 1 deep safety, so you've got to defend. You've got to give a little bit of preference to not getting beat down the field. So we're going to watch Turner kind of lean it upfield and be okay with that. Still, he gives up that separation there. Now he's got to cut back and come back to it. Plant his feet, drive back towards the receiver, and make a tackle. It's 13-yard gain, 14-yard gain, I believe that was for Jefferson. As long as they weren't going to get you for 20-something, that was right after a penalty. All right, Turner at the top of the screen. Big off coverage again here. Again, I believe this is a long situation, long first down situation. He's got to protect back here. We've got a safety in the middle of the field that's planted. Turner has to be the deep guy just in case they want to attack him. And while he's so deep that we just got a guy coming underneath and settling and picking up this first down. So that's more of because of the play action. You'll see here, if I can go back 1 second. You'll see here as Stones drifts here and the underneath guys right here. I wonder where Barrett Carter is supposed to be. You see him turn and start to go inside there. Go a couple more clicks, but we basically have 2 guys covering this middle and nobody. You would think you'd have 1 here and 1 here, which would have made this throw a little bit harder. But if we're just evaluating Turner, not getting distracted, he's making sure he doesn't get beat deep there. Still, you can have your corners click, close, and erase that gap a little bit quicker. All right, that's that game. I think that was 4 targets, gave up 2 catches, and then had 1 pass breakup and another incomplete. So 2 for 4 for about 30 yards or so. Turner, top of the screen. I think that's against Sutton. Screen pass that way. Again, his job is to play outside. Stone's got to come in and make that tackle a little bit sooner. Turner, top of the screen. Marvin Mims is over there. We look like we got a screen pass again. Turner's got the outside. And it's too easy of a pickup for that Broncos offense. Turner makes a tackle, but it's just so much space was had underneath. Turner, bottom of the screen. This picture's so clear, huh? Primetime game here. Broncos got nice cameras. He's got Troy Franklin. Franklin looks like he's running the... Yes. So watch, we get a jam first. We're going to get a jam, and Franklin's going to really try to make it look like he's going to go inside here, but he's really going back to the corner as the quarterback's booting that way. So you get the jam, you're on his hip. As Franklin tries to go inside, it's a decent fake. It gets Turner just a little bit, but Turner's still got hands on him, and he's going to turn his hips and be able to control Franklin really well to the back of the end zone. And as Bo Nix thought he was going to throw this to him, this is when Demetrius Knight peels off and makes the play. But I would have loved to have seen Turner here because it looks like he was going. I mean, that would have been a very, very hard completion. Turner was on it and reaching to break that pass up. So good coverage there leads to an interception by Demetrius Knight. Bottom of the screen. Got to flip his hips this way. Looks like we're receiver's throttling down. Come in and make the tackle. So again, like when we're seeing these, when you're playing so deep on these, what I want to see is your reaction time from when he decides to throttle down. How many gather steps does it take you to T-step and drive back to the ball? Let's watch Turner here. Right there is when he gets that step. A couple extra steps there to gather himself and then drive back to the ball and ultimately make the tackle. So you'd like to see that a little bit clearer, especially for a guy that his feet are very, very quick. Top of the screen versus Courtland Sutton. Very similar to the Jerry Jeudy play. Was it Jeudy? No. It was Brian Thomas Jr. So we're going to take the inside and eventually run the dig from the slot. Can you turn with him? This time he is on his hip, right? And that ball is incomplete. This was a flag offsides. That's good coverage, though. Sutton's looking for it. Sutton, you are way bigger than DJ Turner. You should be breaking through that contact very, very easily. Top of the screen, Turner versus Sutton. And we've got an easy, this is why they kept throwing these screens here, because there's just nobody out there. Turner's got to go to the outside so that Carter and Stone come in and fill from the inside and deep. This game was frustrating because I don't think the Broncos are very good. That was that game, though. Just a couple targets, mostly just screen passes. Next game versus the Lions. DJ Turner, top of the screen. He's backed off here because we're bunching up all these guys, and especially at the snap. It's the thing I like about the Lions offense. They will snap it while this guy is almost directly behind this bunch, which changes the rules. Everyone's got to be able to communicate on who they have. Who's number 1, 2, 3, right? If you do it right behind the guy, really makes it tough. But Turner here is squatting. I think he's got Amon-Ra St. Brown here. And St. Brown is past him. And St. Brown could beat you anywhere here. So you're kind of in a tough situation. St. Brown could be doing anything. Let's see how Turner recovers from this. Turns and flattens very well. And as St. Brown turns to get that ball, DJ Turner is going to bat it away. So good, really good recovery. That's what being a good athlete in recovery looks like. So there's a pass breakup on your first target to one of the best receivers, especially from the slot. Amon-Ra St. Brown is one of the best in the league. And that was his only target in the Lions game. So like at this point, I think the rest of the league is starting to see it. It's not until I believe the next game is the Steelers game is when everyone starts to go, oh, DJ Turner's having a great year. Top of the screen. Romeo Doubs has to get around Geno Stone there, so that kind of delays him getting into his route, breaking down. Because of it, you could tell he was going to break down, and I see DJ Turner already squatting and getting ready for it. He's already inside looking for the ball as it coming and just reaches around, bats it away. Again, good coverage. The ball skills have been really impressive for DJ Turner, which is something that I wasn't sure. He showed flashes of it at Michigan, and then that first year in the league, I was like, oh, he just might be too small. He might just not affect this ball enough. And then now, over the last year and a half, I've been like, yep, it's not limiting him. His size is not limiting him. He'll be all right. I like Dax and DJ when they get together. They seem like they communicate really well, trust each other. We'll also watch Dax here. He's going to jam the outside receiver. And then, so as Dax is going with him, DJ Turner's got to get down on Dobbs. So, right there. He jumped on it. Both guys got really good coverage here, but now we're going off script. We got a little pressure on Jordan Love. Still get your eyes back on Turner, running with the guy going over the middle. And as we're going to try and throw it, TJ Turner is going to bat it into the air, and it's going to get intercepted by Geno Stone. So good coverage on the back half, good coverage by Dax and Turner, and leading to a little bit of pressure up front, leads to Jordan Love forcing a ball that Turner bats in the air for his teammate. Top of the screen, again, we've got a stacked, condensed receiver look here, which is going to kick Turner back a little bit. Dax is showing a little bit of a blitz. Turner's going to come down on the screen. See, like, there we go, right? If I don't just have to be the outside guy to contain and my outside guy is actually getting that ball, come in, click, close, fire, make the catch. Very good game from Turner so far in this Packers one. I'm trying to remember if he gets another target or not. I think he does. Yep. Here, okay, here we go. Bottom of the screen, press coverage with Romeo Doubs. Doubs with the outside release. I like the outside release because I don't remember this route. And then he gets vertical, right? You could do a lot from here. I mean, this safety help is there, so and Turner's to the inside. I'm sure Turner would like to get to the outside if he can here, but Doubs is going to probably stem him inside before going out. So let's see how this route develops now that Doubs has gotten vertical and gotten straight up. There he goes. There's that stem and try to snap it off. Turner is in his pocket. I mean, that is tight man coverage. Flip, hit the arm, push him out of bounds, incomplete. I mean, that is really great coverage for DJ Turner. I'm going to go back because this is one of his best man coverage plays here. Watch him flip his hips, turn tightly, turn and find that ball. Yeah, very, very good. This is an excellent game in this Packers matchup for Turner. And press versus Romeo Doubs again. Down the bottom of the screen. Doubs, we already had. Turner's got an outside shade here because you're not always directly above these guys. Sometimes you're just slightly outside or just slightly inside, depending on where your help is, and you might want to cheat a little bit. He's slightly outside here, protecting from the outside. So let's see. Doubs is going to kick outside one step because that's where Turner's weak. Turner's shading to the side. He has no help on, typically. And then, so good outside release by Doubs there, and then stem it back in. And now Turner's with him, and as Doubs tries to turn, like, look at that. Watch him fake inside. You see his head inside. So there's a lot of things there I want to say. My mouth is kind of not working with my brain. Doubs looking inside like this is really trying to say, Turner, I'm going to the outside. You should probably break to the outside. That's where you're weak. That's where you're trying to protect yourself, right? Turner does not fall for it at all. And as Doubs goes to break down now, let's watch how fast Turner breaks down. Bang, 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 right with him. I mean, he is in his back pocket again for the pass breakup. I mean, this is just an excellent performance. He is feeling it here. That man coverage is extremely tight. Bottom of the screen, again, he's off this time on Doubs. Geno Stone's going to take the running back out of the backfield. You got off coverage with outside shade again, because you should have some inside help. Doubs to the outside again. Really extend Turner's outside shade. And he's just going to work his way back to the middle. Turner's got to close, make the tackle. So Turner's protecting to the outside here. When I say why it's important to say what shade he has here, he's protecting because I need my middle linebacker here. Their eyes are all inside because there's so much going on with the Packers on that way that no one's really watching the back side. So you just have to limit it to a mediocre gain. But also at the same time, if I'm Turner, why I'm protecting to the outside is because we got a deep middle of the field safety. Stone only came down because Jacobs is here. We kind of have to know that when we do this transition, I think you could probably go back to the inside shade or head up with the receiver, because I don't think you're going to get beat to the outside when they bring that guy out there. You could still, but you do have a little bit of help to the outside when Stone does rotate down into that spot. Okay, where is Turner? There he is. Again, when I talked about stacking these guys, you're going to have your corners end up getting stacked because of it. Turner is the second guy back here. He's like, okay, I have no switch release or anything from the receivers. I got some ground to make up. Matthew Golden's really trying to sell like, hey, I'm going inside here. I mean, eyes and everything. That's such a bad route. We've seen this a couple times from these guys, and Turner he's not falling for it at all. Undercuts it, breaks it up. I mean, what a performance. I mean, he's not falling for it at all there. What did he give him? 1 catch for 8 yards or something on that one slant where he's got outside shade? I mean, that was a tremendous game. That is so good. A couple of passes defense, maybe 3 passes defense in that one. No, it was more than that because there was a play with a penalty too, if I remember correctly. I think he had 4 in that game. 1 leading to an interception. Top of the screen, DJ Turner. We're going to that Steelers game. Now everyone's aware this Turner's coming off such a great game. The whole country's watching this one. He's going against DK Metcalf. Peeling off his guy, right? You got to understand zone coverage here. Let my guy go, how they're trying to attack me with a slant flat. There's the slant. There's the flat. Aaron Rodgers staple. I need a better tackle out of DJ Turner, but didn't end up killing you. And we know, I mean, the guy is probably 180 pounds soaking wet. So we know what his skill set is. Okay, here's the biggest play he's given up. Outside all the way over there. All the way at the top of the screen, we got DK looking like he's running an out route. Turner's going to flatten, but still able to turn and run with DK pretty well there. DK has great build-up speed, but as Turner tries to go and look back for the ball, this thing is placed beautifully by Aaron Rodgers. So you get beat on a deep play like this, and I say, you know what? The coverage isn't too bad. But you're going to get beat when it's a top, 15 receiver that's got you in terms of size and a Hall of Fame quarterback that can still once in a while drop it in the bucket like he did there. DJ Turner, top of the screen this time. Pressing up with DK Metcalf. Oh, he's going to peel off. Looks like we're going to get a cover 3. He's outside zone here. They're basically trying to run the same thing. They thought they were going to get a press man situation again. So they're going to run an out and out up. And he is just on top of it completely this time. And I wonder if Turner would have picked that off. Battle gets credit for it. He was ruled down. But Turner had great coverage on that play. DJ Turner, top of the screen again versus DK Metcalf. We're on a heater right now for DJ Turner, despite giving up that big one to start the game. Good release by Metcalf. Despite being such a big, straight line type guy, he can sometimes give you a nice jab step that really affects corners. And you see Turner there give up a little separation. And if I'm Aaron Rodgers, I believe the same thing. Oh, I can hit this little fade here versus cover 2 because he's got a safety right over the top here. And it was a good place ball. Metcalf should have had it, but Turner just does such a great job. And you guys have all seen this. Shout out to Geno Stone, too. That hit helped dislodge it. But then to get your feet down and a knee down there right before you go out of bounds, huge momentum swinging play for DJ Turner. Career highlight type of play. It's a really good job. All right, Turner, top of the screen. Off coverage here. He's going to come off his man, come down, and bat this ball away. Did you see that? I want to make sure I point out where he is. He's up here, and we just have an out there, and I want to say Metcalf goes. Yes, Metcalf's going to try and just tie up this guy, Turner long enough, but Turner sees it the entire way. His eyes are in the backfield. He sees what's going on. He comes off his man, comes down, gets the pass deflection. I mean, at that point, you think offenses watching this film are like, you know what? We're not even going to test this guy because this is getting ridiculous. Okay, DJ Turner, bottom of the screen this time versus the Jets. We got 2 games to go, and we're at the 30-minute mark. He's off coverage here. I don't know who was supposed to be down. It seems weird to me that we never had anyone else. I mean, you're just getting... This is Josh Newton in the slot. Is it Ivy? Or Newton? Newton. Yeah, it seems weird that he never comes off of this. This is so next gen stats is saying Turner was the closest. I don't see that as being Turner's fault at all. I think that's more of Newton. Even he's talking to him right away, like, "Well, what were you doing?" So we'll keep it moving. One of those plays, top of the screen. I'm not counting that towards Turner. It's not, I mean, it would do nothing in our evaluation to count that towards him. Okay, again here, similar to what the Jags were doing, right? We're just crossing one guy this way, crossing this guy this way. It's a lot of running. It's a lot of traffic. You got to be able to fight through it and stay with him. Let's see here. Is Turner sticking with him? Yeah, he's all over it, right? It started off very similar to those Jags plays, but Turner is just in his pocket. Bad throw by Justin Fields, no doubt. But Turner is on it. That coverage is nice. Turner, bottom of the screen this time. This is actually going to go against him, if you remember the play. He's communicating what's going on. Oh. So as Breece Hall is going to, like at this point, Breece Hall's like, oh yeah, the guy is open. Takes him a second with the pump though. I don't know why he just didn't initially throw it. And then he sees Turner's just got his back to him. Turner's got to be thinking this play is over. That's why he's just there holding up and then just get that ball plucked off the top of your head. I'd like them to be able to play the hands there, not allow that receiver to pluck it off your head. So in that game, we get 2 targets. One over the middle there that I thought he was in great coverage on, or just it was coming across the middle is what I mean, to the sideline. And Fields sailed it, so we never got to see how he would have played that ball. And then that play, Breece Hall touchdown to Mason Taylor over DJ Turner in the back of the end zone, that stunk. We don't like that one. Turner here, we've got a condensed and bunched receiver set. So he's off here with outside shade. Roma Dunze. He's got inside position if he wants to release to the inside because Turner was shaded outside. He's got to protect outside. But as this receiver starts to break down and cut in, Turner is all over it. I mean, we've got just in, 9 games now, because this is the 9th game. We have a bunch of as sticky man coverage as you can find. 5, 6, 7 of them. I should have been counting them. But that is a great play by DJ Turner. And I wonder if they saw this right after that Jets game and said, you know what, we can attack Turner in these situations here. It's the Philly special. Turner just completely eyes going on everything happening here. He's locked in, completely forgot about his responsibility. Everyone still has their spot, especially in zone coverage. Turner just vacated his and gets beat for the touchdown. So what do we got? 3 touchdowns against Turner. The one versus the Jags, the long crossing route, right? And then we have the Breece Hall and we have the Caleb Williams touchdown, which is funny that 2 of those are that. So again, bunched up receivers, more condensed to the line. We've got heavy tight ends. We got a quarterback under center. What you're going to get is the corners in this type of situation where they're off and shaded to one side directly, and they got to communicate with each other. And right off rip, it doesn't look like anybody takes a Dunze over the middle. But Turner's still playing his spot. This looks like a cover 3, right? Nobody getting deep enough in the middle of the field. Everyone's sucked up by that play action. So let's watch Turner here, see if he can close in on this. Bottom of the screen. 84 is Loveland, right? So he's trying to. There's no one there. Again, Turner's responsibility is what? This deep third. He has this deep third. He has this deep third. Turner does not have to come in here and make this play and try and cover Loveland. But you're going to see he's like, I'm the only guy here. I kind of have to. And he does and tracks him down and makes the tackle. There's got to be someone in the middle of the field for some of these. When you're watching the Bengals defense, that play action, and that's why the Jets and the Bears just absolutely killed this defense the last couple of weeks. The play action, misdirection stuff, you're just getting these linebackers that are rookies completely, they're swimming out there. They're drowning, actually, but you're getting them to move out of position so often. All right, Turner, bottom of the screen, communicating with his safety on his side as we have 3 potential targets on this way. Dunze goes in motion, so now Turner's going to go up and take, I think, DJ Moore. He's going to end up with neither. He's in his zone again here. He's going to come up and take Manungai. Nah. Bah. That's not a target for Turner, in my opinion. But that was the last one. So 2 targets in this game. I don't even know if I want to count that one. What was it? Just the Loveland? Was there another one? No, and it wasn't a Dunze target. Yeah, that he was sticky on. So 2 targets. The one where he comes off his deep third to cover Loveland. And then the real sticky man coverage against a Dunze in that Bears game. So that was all of DJ Turner's targets with him in coverage. Some of them just being the closest defender, which again, throw those out in my opinion for the evaluation purposes. But in the games we do have, the targets we do have, I think he's been so good. I hope, if you don't get time to watch the film like I do, if you just trust what I'm saying here, and I've been saying Turner's been playing well the whole season, I'm glad we can revisit and put all of these into one episode. Any longer, and it's going to be like a 2-hour episode, right, if we wait till the end of the year. So maybe we can pull highlights from this because there are enough highlights in there. There are enough plays where you really have to see it. And these are just the ones he's targeted on. You got to think that there are other plays where he's not targeted, where he is neck and neck with these guys in their hip pocket, disrupting them, looks super close in man coverage. It's rare to see major separation. We had a few here on catches in that game or in this film review, but man, he's been that good, and they should consider an extension. I think they probably will, but if you look at this and say, who on defense is worth extending and building around, DJ Turner would be the first guy I point to, and I'm still interested in Dax and want to see Dax take another step in his game, but as of right now, Turner's their number 1 corner. He's their best DB. He's the best DB they've drafted in a long time, so good for him to build off what he had last year. And I made the case too. I think after the Chargers game, we did a film review of that one last year where he got hurt and was out. But that game was his coming out party and he got hurt. The previous games leading up to that, the film was starting to show it. I'm like, damn, Turner's starting to, you can see it clicking for him. He is on these guys. Mental aspect catching up. He is there. He looks good. And then he got hurt. And I was like, man, we're not going to be able to see that finish in 2024. So I think coming into the offseason, people were like, is he a starter? Is Josh Newton going to play over him? I thought people were crazy for even suggesting it. Or if the Bengals would have done it, I'd have been like, what are you doing? Play Turner. And then Turner had that one practice in the bubble. I think he had 5 pass breakups, and then he was a starter from there on out. So that was his first, that was his breakout for the 2025 season, was that practice. We see a lot of stuff in practice and camp that we never see again, and it's just fool's gold all offseason, just hype medicine that we end up never seeing the other end of it. But Turner in that practice ended up being what we saw. So I hope he carries it off through the rest of the year. I hope he finishes it because from what we've seen so far, he deserves a Pro Bowl nod. And if you guys vote, and if anyone does around the league, I mean, fans of other teams that sometimes end up watching these videos, because there are a few of you, and I appreciate you as well. We've got the Jake and Joe preview show coming back out this week because we got to see Steelers-Bengals division game. Steelers just lost last night to the Chargers. This division looks like it's up for grabs, despite the Ravens looking a little bit better. I thought Jackson struggled with the Vikings, but that's a whole conversation, and maybe we save that for the Jake and Joe preview show when we talk about this Steelers-Bengals matchup. And then join us for the post-game show after the Bengals-Steelers game. We've got things to give away. I think it's an Apple Watch this week from First Star Logistics. So you want to be in the chat for that. We will see you this weekend for both of those. Until the next time on Bengals on the Brain, presented by First Star Logistics, it is Despite 3-6. Hoo day.